Welcome back to regular expressions. In this video, we will be talking about the definition of regular expressions and the operator precedence. So before getting started, let's see how we can operate on the languages. First, we talk about concatenation. If you remember from my previous lectures also, concatenation is not commutative. That is, AB is not equal to BA unless and until A and B are the same elements. The second thing is that union is distributive. That is, it means a disjunction or choice. So union means A plus BC star means you can disjunct over it, and this is AC star plus BC star. For the precedence of operators, clean closure has the highest precedence, and after that you have the positive closure. After clean and positive closure, in the next in order is your concatenation, and disjunction follows after concatenation. So to define regular expression, simply regular expression can be defined by these rules. Every letter in sigma is a regular expression. So if I say sigma equals to AB, so if I write A, so A is a regular expression and B is also a regular expression. So is null. So A is a regular expression, B is a regular expression, and null is a regular expression. If R1 and R2 are two regular expressions, so is R1, something like this. So basically here we are now starting to create factors to form more words. So R1 is a regular expression. So is R1, R2 the concatenation. So probably if I write AB, then this is also a regular expression. Why? Because A is a regular expression, B is a regular expression, and R1, R2, that is AB, will also be a regular expression. So will be BA. Now if I say that AB is a regular expression and BA is a regular expression, so definitely AB concatenated by BA is a regular expression. So now you are getting this, that this is a recursive definition. We have started from the basic rules that every single input letter or a symbol in the alphabet is a regular expression, null is a regular expression, and then we have started to evolve from there, and we have started to create more regular expressions out of it. Then R1 plus R2 is also a regular expression, something of this sort. And maybe if I want to write that A is a regular expression and let's say B is a regular expression, so I could also write something of this sort. So A plus B C is also a regular expression. Now if I want to concatenate it with something else, so I could do something like this. Though, so this also becomes a regular expression. So you have seen that from by creating from already existing regular expressions that are defined by this definition, we are creating more and more regular expression. And R1 star is also a regular expression. So I can say that A star is a regular expression. Now I have already formed one regular expression over here. So because R1 is a regular expression, this too becomes my regular expression. Let me just erase this slide for better reference. So if I say that A is a regular expression and AB is a regular expression, and if I say their union is a regular expression followed by, let's say, BA is also a regular expression, so I concatenate these two, so this also becomes a regular expression, and then its clean closure is also a regular expression. So this is how we can recursively form the the regular expression. So suppose if I have to form a word from this regular expression. Now here I have to take clean closure of this entire thing. So firstly I have a choice between A and AB. Let me choose A. Then A has to be concatenated with BA. So ABA. So this is one possible word, and I can take the clean closure of this. So any possible repetitions of this null or more representation, it's a regular expression. Remember from the previous slide we had talked that plus is distributive. So probably the next regular expression that I could form is by choosing AB instead of A. So AB will be a regular expression and it has to be concatenated with B A, and remember that you have to put the bracket over the entire factor because you know that clean closure has the highest precedence. So this you can form words from these two regular expression in this language. And we generally don't talk about R1 plus because R1 plus, as I told you earlier too, that R1 star can be used to denote the positive closure. So apart from this, nothing else is a regular expression. So repeating again, every letter of alphabet is a regular expression. Null is a regular expression. If R1 and R2 are regular expressions, then R1 in bracket, that is the factor, the concatenation, the union and the clean closure as well as the positive closure are regular expressions. But to represent positive closure, we generally don't use plus. We use this regular expression R1 star to represent the positive closure. uh, if I have to define two sets S and T, they may be finite or infinite. Finite means you have countable number of words, or infinite means that there are infinitely many words of finite length. So the product set ST will be all combinations of strings from set S followed by concatenated with all combination of strings from set T. So here is an example. You have this 0 0 0 0 0 0 and 1 1, three elements in this set, and in T you have 1 0 1 and 1 1 0. So concatenation will be, so these are the factors. See, if you see 0, then you concatenate this with another element of T. You take 0 first element and the second element of T. Then you take the second element of S, concatenate it with first element of T, second element of S concatenated with second element of T. Now you take the third element of S, which is 1 1 from here, and then you concatenate it with second element of T, third element of S concatenated with second element of T. So ST is all combination of strings concatenated in the order. In the order means first the elements of S will come followed by the elements of T. So moving ahead, a language defined by a regular expression is governed by the following rule. First, remember that a language defined by a regular expression is known as a regular language. That you have to understand. Any language that can be expressed in the terms of a regular expression is a regular language. A regular expression with a single symbol represents a single word. Language represented by a null has single word in its set, which is null. If R1 is a regular expression of language L1 and R2 is the regular expression of L2, then language of R1 R2. So we are now building the language over the previous rules that we have defined in the definition of the regular expression. If you remember these rules, so here the regular expressions were there. Now we are talking about the rules, the language is formed by these rules. So if language R1 is for L1, language L1 is for the regular expression R1 and L2 is for R2, then language of R1 concatenated with R2 is L1 L2. So here this the definition of S dot T, remember that in the previous slide we have talked about all the words of S followed by all the words of the T. So this will come into picture. Then language of R1 plus R2 is L1 plus L2. That is, you have a choice. You can union. Basically, this is the union of the sets. Then language of R1 star is the language L1 star itself. So if you have a regular expression, it will always have some language associated with it. A regular expression will have some regular language associated with it. Here are a few examples of interesting examples that you will come across. So if I say, a plus b star, this is arbitrary, and a plus bb and a plus b star. So arbitrary, this could be null or any possible string of a's and b's. But what is important to note here is that this language should contain at least a double a or a double b, because this is a plus. So you should have at least double a or double b, and in the front of double a or in front of double b you can have any arbitrary string of a's and b's. Moving ahead to my next expression, a plus b star a plus b star a plus null, a plus b star a plus b star. So if I try to apply the disjunction, let me write this here. So I have a plus b star a, and you have a plus b star. Now I have a choice between a and null. So let me choose a. So I have chosen a instead of null because there was a choice, and this is a distributive thing. So and then I again write a plus b and you have star and you have a and you have a plus b star. So if you notice, you have arbitrary string of a's and b's, then you have to have one a, and you have to have you can have any length string of a's and b's, but you have to have another a, and then arbitrary a's and b's, and then you have to have another a, and you have arbitrary string of a's and b's. So what does this regular expression represent? If you look at this carefully, this is a language of all the words which have at least 3 a's. This is the regular expression of all words which have at least 3 a's. Now if I do a disjunction, and so the other factor is remaining, so because there was a plus, so this is this plus a plus b star a, then you have another arbitrary, and then you have, here now I am choosing a null, then instead of choosing a here I am choosing a null, then you have again another arbitrary, then I am choosing the another a is here, and then you have another arbitrary. So if you notice carefully, now instead of 3 a's you have at least 2 A's. So this is the language of this regular expression represents a language of at least 2 A's. The above regular expression represents the language that has at least 3 A's, and you are doing a union on them. So anything that has 3 A's will automatically have 2 A's. So if I say that this regular expression is equivalent to this, then I won't be wrong, because if something that has 2 A's, 3 A's, then it automatically will have 2 A's. So we can represent, this is the equivalence, we can represent this regular expression simply as this regular expression. Now consider this example. Just give it a look. You have double A, you have double B. Then firstly you can choose anything from double A or double B, or you can choose anything from AB, excuse me, you can choose anything from AB or BA. Then you have an arbitrary long string which is of double A's or double B's only. Then you have AB or BA, and the entire thing has a clean closure. So out of these factors you will keep on choosing, and you can keep repeating as many times as you want. So if I choose AA, suppose I choose AA for the first time. So my first string is AA, so I can write AA, and because this is a star, I can go back and choose something else. Probably next time I choose in my second choice for factor, I choose BB. So I've chosen AA, then I've chosen BB, and because it is a star, I again go back. Now I have a choice between AA, BB, or this expression. So I don't choose these two, I choose this. Let me choose AB. When I am choosing AB, after that I have again a choice between double A and double B. Let me choose anything, and then there is a closure of this. So any sets of double A's or double B's. So all A will always occur in even clumps, and B will also occur in even clumps. So you could have something like this, AA, or probably null also. You could have BB, and you could have something like this next time, AA, and probably next time you don't choose AA and you go on to choose BB. So you always have A's and B's in even clumps. So even clumps of either A's or B's. So A and B is in even clumps. Here also, if you had chosen A's, so it was even A, and it was even B's. If you didn't choose anything, it still remains even, because 0 is also an even number. So here you have chosen either even number of A's, 2 A's together, even number of B's, 2 B's together. Now you choose AB or BA. This is not even, but if you form factors of this will be even. Now after choosing this, you have to make a choice between this AB and BA. Whatever you choose, if you have chosen AB and if you have chosen AB again, so this A will compensate for this A and B will balance out this A. So this basically again you have even number of A's and even number of B's. Had you chosen AB and now you choose BA, again this A will be balanced out with this A, and this B will be balanced out by this B. So again even number of A's and B's. And same goes for BA. If you have chosen BA here, you could have chosen AB or BA, anything, this would have balanced out. So, and then you are taking a clean closure. So if you are taking a clean closure of even number of A's and even number of B's, you are basically forming a language where you have only even number of A's and only even number of B's. Just try creating examples of this, and this is known as, this particular regular expression is for a very popular language called even. This is the language even, where you have always even number of A's and even number of B's. Not necessarily they are occurring together. If they occur together, they are in clumps of 2's only, and if they do not occur together, they have another A or another B to balance them out. So this is a very popular language that we will be using further, which is even. Uh, so that's it about the regular expression. and in the next lecture we will be talking about the machines that accept the regular languages, how we can get a machine or a mathematical model to accept the regular expression, and we will call it the finite automata. Why it is known as finite, that also we will be talking about. So practice regular expressions and we will move to finite automata next. If you have more questions, you can write to me in comments. You can like this channel, share or subscribe to this channel to keep learning. Thank you.